Morning, tubers. One of my 42 subscribers rightly pointed out that I haven't actually said where I'm going to build. So, I'll tell you now. I wasn't really sure. I haven't been sure since I've dreamt up this idea of building something. I just wanted to build something. But since my first video, I've done a lot of thinking. And I'm going to build an area, it's a bit like a party bar, with a type of pizza oven. I've watched them build the pizza ovens online, and they make it look so simple, but I don't know if I'll make it look that simple. I'm going to try. But the more and more I look at it, the more tools I'm going to need. And you know I don't have many tools, so I've started to build up my toolbox. But that means I'm going to have somewhere to store them, and my shed is tiny, so I've now got to make a space for a bigger shed. So one job is leading to another, which is not a problem. I'm going to build a shed, but first I need to sort out the groundwork, which I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to put the shed in the same place as where my shed is now, and just make it twice as big. And once I've got that sorted, I've got a fella coming with a mini digger to dig out the groundwork for the concrete to be laid for the party area, bar and pizza oven, because the base has got to be quite thick because the pizza oven is quite heavy, and I don't fancy mixing tons of cement because it's difficult. Plus, the professionals will do a lot better job than I will. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm starting now. So this is my shed, which as you can see is probably, I think it's 8 by 4, so it's a bit small for everything else that I'm going to buy. You can see it's quite full. I could put some shelves in there, but for the things that I'm buying, I'm going to need a bigger shelf. And as you can see, I've got some little things from my parents that I can cut some wood on, and I've also bought some cement. I've got a big bag of sharp stone and gravel coming to fill the footings that I've dug. Now the footings that I've dug are measure from the very other corner of the shed. They measure 10 by 8, which is just the size of the shed. And instead of the doors being on this side, they're going to be on this side. So it's my plan to have the doors here, and then I will use some stone that I've salvaged from another part of the garden to create a little step. My sharp stone arrives tomorrow. Luckily, my parents have a cement mixer, which I'm going to borrow, and I'm going to attempt to mix and pour concrete. Now I've been out and I've bought some more tools. So I bought myself a trowel, a nice fancy trowel, and a small one just to get into the corners. I've also cut out some stakes for my form, because I've got some long pieces of wood coming, which I can stake into the ground, which will hold obviously the concrete in, and it will be level with these stones that are already there. Now, I didn't see the point in taking all them stones out, because all that's going on here is a shed. So it doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to look fancy, all that's going to be covered up. So yeah, I think once we've got this concrete in with this cement mixer that arrives, we should be able to get the shed. Now I've ordered a shed. It's as I say, 10 by 8. I'll post a picture. I think that's going to arrive in 4 weeks, which is not ideal. I could do with it here earlier, because I'd like to get on with it and start getting filling it up with tools. In any spare time I've had, I've just been digging little bits of a little bit more of this out. I've also removed 2 more trees, and the reason I've done that, I was going to keep them, but I've decided that for me to dig all this out and dig it out to the same level as here where my foot is. Now you probably can't see that, but it is quite, there's a lot of earth to get out of there. So I've employed the services of a guy with a mini digger, and he's going to dig it all out for me, make it all flat. But in the meantime, I've thought, right, I'll just see what the earth's like, and I've noticed that there's quite a lot of these, and I'm astonished that just out of this space here, so just that small amount of space, so far, there's that amount of stones. So I think at some point, all this here was not as high as it was, but over the years it's just built up and built up and built up. I mean, some of these stones you can see, they're down at this level here, so you can see how high that level has grown. And the top level, which is here, this top level is very, very soft. So, and you can see there, look, there's more stone under there. So yeah, so I think this level's been built up over time. I think the digger man's going to call him the digger man. He's going to be here in a week or so. So once he gets that all dug out, I can start building the form for the plaster. Now in the corner, I'm going to get him to dig probably another 2-3 inches deeper, a big square from here all the way along here and then up there. So that bit there will be 4 inches deeper than all the rest, and we will pour concrete in there. And the reason for that is in that corner is where I'm going to attempt to build a Pompeii oven. Now that could be entertaining, not for you, definitely for me. So yeah, so it needs to be a thicker concrete, because the whole structure is extremely heavy once you've got all the materials. So yeah, I'm making progress, slow progress, but I'm getting there, and I've got more tools. Just need to learn how to use them now.